Welcome to the My Brain, My Happiness podcast. My name is Joe, and on each episode, it is my goal to spread awareness on mental health. No, I'm not a therapist, a psychiatrist, or a medical doctor. I'm just a guy who has had a lifelong relationship with mental illness, specifically OCD. Together with you, I want to blow the roof off the stigma that comes with having a mental illness. You need to know you're not alone. I promise this podcast will be upbeat and positive. My goal with each episode is to make you understand that you don't have to take this on alone or in silence. Now let's change some lives. Hey everybody, welcome to a new episode of My Brain, My Happiness. It has been quite a while. I have not been doing these on the regular, and quite frankly, it's because nobody's listening. I get about 7, 8, maybe 10 listens a episode. I get some out on YouTube, and in all reality, I feel like people don't want to hear about the need to talk about mental illness and I know I'm wrong, right? I know I'm wrong. On TikTok, I help someone every day with the videos that I make, words of encouragement and things of that nature. So I'll be honest with you, I've been a little discouraged about making episodes, but I thought I'd get out here today and make one. And I'm going to kind of, just freeform this one. I don't have any topic really to discuss other than the fact that, I've been struggling a little bit with my mental health these days. Mainly, I feel like I was really put on this earth to do something other than what I'm doing. Like, I'm in cybersecurity right now. And it pays the bills, and I make good money. And there was a time where I really, really was into it. But I have discovered this whole thing about life coaching and nutrition coaching and speaking about, mental illness and talking, bringing that to the forefront and, trying to get rid of the stigma that comes along with having a mental illness and trying to encourage people to speak up because, staying silent is not the answer. You don't need to battle this all by yourself. It's too hard. Yeah, it's too hard. There's so many options out there for you. I just wish that you would take advantage of it. And if you're listening to this podcast right now, I want you to know that I practice what I preach. Okay. I have been in therapy pretty much my whole life. I went to my first therapist, psychologist, when I was 18 years old. And I'm 56 years old. I just turned 56 yesterday. And so I feel that going to therapy is the best gift one could give themselves. And why? Why do I think that? Well, you get to go to a therapist and you talk about yourself for 45 minutes or an hour, whatever the session is, and that therapist listens to you and talks to you about you, right? Do you ever notice when you have a conversation with a normal adult or whatever, it's polite to have it be a two-way conversation. So, but how many times have you been trying to tell somebody that you're struggling with something or something's really bothering you, and then they turn it around and they say, oh yeah, I have the same problem, blah, blah, and then they want to make it all about them. When you were struggling so much and you opened up and you just wanted some help, and that person made it about themselves. It sucks. It hurts. And it's frustrating. So that's why, listen, I have plenty of friends out there that listen to me and are supportive of me, and I'm very open about my OCD. I'm very open about my anxiety, my depression. I have ADD. And listen, I take a bunch of medication, and I've never, ever shied away from it or been embarrassed about it. And I've always openly talked about it. Now, when I first started with OCD and these intrusive thoughts, I have what's called pure OCD. And it's not the OCD where things need to be organized. God knows I'm not an organized person, but it's the OCD that comes along with, intrusive, scary thoughts. And I've talked about this till I'm blue in the face in other podcasts, but I just feel like it needs to be talked about again. These thoughts were embarrassing. They were scary. They were taboo, and they come out of nowhere. And when I started researching OCD, once I was diagnosed, it was amazing because the thoughts that I was having, you go down the checklist. Go down the fucking checklist of the thoughts that happen with OCD. Sexual thoughts, the fear of harming people, the fear you're going to kill somebody, the fear of you're going to hurt yourself. It could be anything. And these thoughts consume you from the minute you wake up to the minute you go to bed, and you can't turn that switch off. And so it was embarrassing. But, once I finally discovered, listen, this is not me. This is just an illness I have. And once I got on the right medication, it really, really helped me. And I have been on medication ever since. And I take quite a bit of medication, more than I wish I did. But, I have to take medication for my OCD, and then because of the side effects that come with taking an SSRI, I take a Wellbutrin, which is another antidepressant. I take Buspar, which is an anti-anxiety. I take clonazepam, which is an anti-anxiety. I take Seroquel now, which is an antipsychotic, but I'm using it to treat anxiety. So it's a very low dose. I only take 25 milligrams of that. And I was taking 2 a day. Now I only take 1 a day. And the funny thing about taking 1 a day is I take it about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It fucking flattens me. Like, it flattens me. I can't explain it. When I was taking 2 a day, didn't impact me that much. Taking 1 a day, oh my God. Well, there's no more anxiety. Like in the afternoon, I used to, I'd have that anxiety creep up on me because I take my clonazepam in the morning. Sometimes I take Xanax as needed. I get a limited supply of that each month. But the bottom line is that the Seroquel, it helps me, And I was worried because I had weight gain that came out of nowhere, and I was blaming it on the Seroquel. And quite frankly, I don't know if it was it, because I found out that the weight gain in my research comes from being on high doses of it, or like 600 plus milligrams of it, and I was taking 50 milligrams a day. So was the weight loss from the medicine? I don't know. I don't really know. So I'm trying to dial my diet back. As I've stated in other podcasts and even on my YouTube channel that nobody subscribes to. It's called My Brain, My Happiness, by the way, just like the name of this podcast. Please go out there and subscribe if you're listening to this. But in any case, what was I saying? I was talking about the Seroquel. Anyway, I lost like 80 pounds, and I've gained probably 25 of that back, and I'd be happy if I could take half of that 25 off, because when I lost 80 pounds, it probably was too much weight that I lost, right? So I'm trying to get back on track with that, and so I'm working on that. So, I'm just trying to dial in a diet and take care of things and see if I can get back on track. And I know I can, because I've had the willpower and the desire to do that before. I do want to talk a little bit about today about just not giving up and not quitting. Like this podcast for me and my TikTok videos that I make. By the way, I'm out on TikTok. I give motivational messages every day. I talk about mental health awareness, and so I think I'm at Joe Dillon 07 or something like that. You can look for me out there. I'm so close to 1,000 followers. I got 992 followers, and I can't even believe that I have that many to listen to me. And there's other people out there doing what I'm doing, but and have hundreds of thousands of followers. I don't know what people do to make themselves that well known out on TikTok or any social media platform for that matter. But I just keep plugging away. You know why? Because I always said if I could help one person every day with my videos, then it was worth it. And getting to 1,000 followers on TikTok was just like a personal goal, like something to strive for, saying, don't give up. Don't give up. Look forward. Look at your dreams. Look at your goals and keep going. And, this has become a passion of mine to get to take part in all of this and do this podcast and to do the TikTok videos. I've also started a golf YouTube channel. It's called Joey D's Golf Journey. We got some funny videos out there with me and my buddies playing golf, and it come from a hacker point of view. Listen, I got 158 subscribers out there, but I expect that to probably grow because we got some fun shit that we're going to be doing out there. And the point is that I have dreams and goals, and I have a passion, and this passion is to be creative and to do things and to help people. And that's why I went out and got all those life coaching certifications and learned how to talk to people and listen to people. And I can't play therapist, right? That would just be unethical. I can't play doctor. But what I can do is talk to you from my own experiences and how my coping skills that I used, and hopefully translate them to something that maybe that you can use in your life to help you get through whatever it is you're battling. And that has always been my goal out here. And so, I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop. Now, the podcast may not be every week like they were before, or twice a week or whatever. Maybe they'll be once a month. Maybe, who knows? Who knows? I'm going to get out here and I'm going to make a podcast whenever the mood strikes me. Listen, if it was something that like hundreds of people were listening to each day or each episode, I would probably get out here and do it a little more. But it's tough to come up with material. I mean, you got to go and I got to research. I watch YouTube videos. I take notes. I write a script down. And then I take all the stuff that I've researched and learned, and then I try to translate it to my own life, and then I kind of spit it out to you guys. And that's what most of my episodes are about. And it's a lot of fucking work. It is. It's work that I don't mind doing because it's a passion, right? But when I put these podcasts out there, and like the last one podcast I put out there, like I don't know, it was like 3 weeks ago, a month ago, 7 people have listened to it. So, there's not a lot of motivation to keep creating them on a regular basis, but I will keep creating them. I promise you. So, let's talk about what I've been going through. My depression and my sadness has really come from, the weather, right? I live in Connecticut, and it has rained like I don't know how many Saturdays in a row. It's been insane. And I'm a golfer, and golf is another passion of mine. It's like when I'm out on the golf course, my mental illness, my anxiety, all of it goes away. There's a different kind of anxiety and whatever emotions that come with playing golf when you're passionate about it. But all the stuff from the outside world, all that bullshit is not with me on the golf course. It doesn't even come into the forefront of my mind ever. It's just my place of tranquility away from the stuff that gets me down on a regular basis. So the weather that we've had here, and we're in the middle of, it's May 15th, 2025, and it's still not fucking nice. Like, yes, we have, it's funny because our nice days are like Monday through Friday. Or Monday through Thursday. And then it's shit on Friday. And then it usually will be some sort of rain or something on Saturday. And then every Sunday, I swear to God, every Sunday has been windy and cold. But if it hasn't been cold, it has been windy. 2 weeks ago, I played golf, and the wind gusts were 50 miles an hour on Sunday. It's every Sunday. And as a matter of fact, what are they talking about for this weekend? This weekend they're talking about thunderstorms on Saturday and breezy and cooler on Sunday. It's just this trend we can't seem to get out of. And so it's just, yeah, it may sound trivial to you, and I understand, but there's things that probably bother you that will seem trivial to other people. But if they're important to you, they're important, right? And so I want you to always remember that don't minimalize things that are important to you because somebody else may think, it's no big deal. It's no big deal. Fuck them. Fuck that noise. If it's important to you, it's important to you. And it doesn't matter what people think and what they do or what they say. Now, I'm sure there's people that laugh at me for making this podcast. I do get a lot more support for doing these things than I do. In fact, I don't really hear negative comments. People really aren't out there giving me a bunch of shit. But I'm sure that just people, in fact, I know I advertised this podcast on Facebook. I have, 600-700 friends on Facebook. Nobody out there is listening to this. A couple of guys, and a couple of my buddies have commented on it and think it's cool that I keep it so real. And the guy was like, man, I feel like I'm sitting at the table, drinking a coffee, shooting a breeze with you. And that's how I try to keep this. I don't want to fuck around and read some sort of scripted written down thing, and try to go from there. Yes, I do take notes when I try to prepare a podcast. None today. I'm just free falling this. I've already been talking to you for 15 minutes. And so, but you need to know that you just keep moving forward. Keep moving forward, and whatever goal it is that you want to achieve and you want to chase, just keep chasing it. And my goal is to someday be out here and have people, lots of people, listening to me and saying, man, Joe Dillon is really, really opening the world's eyes to mental illness. I want to leave a mark on this world. I want to leave a positive mark on the world. That's what I am meant to do. That's why I am here. That's why I feel like I've been placed on this earth, is to help people understand that mental illness is nothing to be ashamed of. It's nothing you should stay silent about, and you should get help for it if you need the help. That's why I'm out here, and that's why I will always keep plugging away and moving forward and making podcasts, making TikTok videos. And then I have my outlet where I make my golf YouTube videos, which are a fucking blast to do. Oh my God, we have so much fun out there. Anyway, so that's about all I have to say today. This was just kind of a rambling session. I appreciate you listening to me today. This has been Joe Dillon. Well, I still am Joe Dillon. This is Joe Dillon. And this has been another episode of My Brain, My Happiness. Thanks for listening, everybody, and have a great day. Love you all.